Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm finally getting around to doing a video that was requested back like all the way on my intro when I introed this year's Pan That palette. And the comment was from Brittany M about the shade Luscious, because I did mention in the intro of my Pan That palette, hello, that my one fear of using this palette up was that I was gonna lose the shade Luscious, because this is my absolute one of my all-time favorite eyeshadow shades ever. So it's just so unique and pretty. It's like this warm copper, but it's got like a lot of depth to it, and it's got an undertone that I can't quite place, and it just looks so pretty and it wears so nice on the eyes. So like Brittany M's suggestion, I'm gonna go through every eyeshadow palette in my collection to see what I can get as the closest dupe for the shade Luscious. So I got my makeup wipes out, I've got my towel. We're going to be doing quite a few swatches here because I literally want to go through and pull out like every eyeshadow palette that I own, and then we'll just see if I find something that looks similar in the pan, then we'll do a swatch. I'm not going to swatch like 100% of every single one of my eyeshadow palettes because we will literally be here for weeks. Before we jump in, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like swatch party videos like this, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified whenever new videos come out every single week. Okay, so I'm gonna re-swatch the shade Luscious towards like the top of my hand up here, so we've got room to like swatch down comparisons. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so I pulled up the Temptalia description of the shade so I have like a better word description of the shade. So according to Temptalia, Luscious is a very warm-toned light medium copper with a metallic finish. So that is what we are looking for. Also, I've taken off my watch and my rings. I don't leave my rings on when I play with makeup because I'm terrified of ruining them. No, Alvin and I are not getting divorced. I did see a message like that come through when I wasn't wearing my rings in a video. I just don't like wearing rings when I'm playing with makeup. Alright, so first I have the Italian Spritz palette, and I pulled this out because I have 3 shades over here that look like they could be similar. So we have Take Me to Church, Ciao Bellini, and Sinsin? Sinsin? Chin Chin? I think it's Chin Chin. So this one I think is going to be a little too dark. Yeah, it's got that nice Too Faced metallic finish to it, but it's way too dark for this one. I think this one's going to be a little too orange. That's actually, yeah, it's too orangey as opposed to like coppery, but it does look pretty. And then this one, I think it's going to be too pink. So we'll skip on that, and I'll wipe off just those 2 swatches. Next, I have the Naked 3 palette from Urban Decay, and I just pulled this out because this shade, What Are You? Trick, could be similar, as well as, I don't know, none of them have the right undertone, but also I want to just do, what is this, Dust? Ooh, so that's like the pinky version of the shade. It doesn't have the right undertone to it, but yeah, it's pink, whereas this one's more copper, like a true copper. Alright, so speaking of true, let me try Trick. Let's see what we can get here. Ooh. Okay, it is a little deeper, but as far as undertone, I feel like this actually has a decent undertone match to it, so that's probably the closest so far. So I'm going to put anything that I find that's pretty close, I'm going to put to the side, and then we'll swatch all of them again at the end to see what I could find that's the closest. Ooh. Okay, I pulled out the Natasha Denona Green Brown palette and the shade right here. I did rearrange the palette, so it's not in the exact order, but oh boy. That is a slight undertone difference, but that is pretty dang close. That's exciting. Here's another one. This is the My Dream palette from Natasha Denona. Different undertone. This one's definitely more orangey, but it's got like that same finish that looks so pretty. Let me just try Serenity. Ooh. It's definitely not as pigmented. I feel like if I layered Serenity on top of a different shade, it would give me that same, like, colorway. You can see, like, it truly is a copper. It's just not as deep as Luscious. So I might put that one to the side and try layering that one. Oh, this one's too deep. And I think, yeah, this one looks more... Ooh, that's pretty. But it's not... It's pretty, but it's not luscious. So I feel like these have the same, like, coppery undertone to them, even though the finishes are very different. This is like a sparkly kind of finish that has a slight duochrome to it. Like, I'm seeing some blue sparkles in there, whereas this one is just pure copper and metallic, but that's pretty dang close on the undertone. And this is the Natasha Denona Mini Retro palette. Holy shit, that's pretty spankin' close. So this is Luscious, and then this is the shade I just pulled, Pisces, from the original BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette. That's the closest I think I've gotten so far. Wow, and like the finish and everything. That's pretty spectacular. And even in the pan, they look very similar. Now, the downside is this palette is also discontinued. Because the goal was to find, you know, a palette or a single where I could get Luscious outside of a discontinued palette, but... that one's also really close. Taurus. Taurus and Pisces are both very similar. And I actually feel like maybe Taurus... It's a bit lighter. I don't know. What if I mix them? If I mix... Let me just put Taurus on top of... My god, I think that's literally it. Mixing those two together gives me almost like a perfect dupe. Wow. Wow, I'm so glad I did this. I never even would have thought to, like, search my own collection for dupes like this. Man, if this one had been just like a shade darker, it would have been like a perfect match for it, but it's not. It's a little too late. So this one's a little too dark, but it has the right undertone to it, and I'm thinking maybe with one of the layering shadows, this would actually work pretty well. Ooh, again, not the same finish. Oh, on camera, this is so interesting. In person, it actually looks closer than it does on camera. On camera, I'm seeing the more orangey undertones here. Dang, I thought that was gonna be a good match. So this one's slightly darker, but like undertone and finish are like spot on. If it was just like half a shade lighter, this would be like perfect. And this is the Kylie Cosmetics, I think it's the Blue Honey palette. Man, this thing is ancient. I don't know if it's still available, but that's pretty dang close. So these are all the single shadows I have left. That's too bright and sparkly. I'm pretty sure I don't have anything here, but just to double check. Close. This one's definitely like a pinky rosy, and this is more actual copper. Okay, so those are all of my palettes finally. So let's go through. I'm gonna put aside the ones that I thought would need a topper, because I think I've got some like close dupes that don't need a topper. And we're going to swatch all of them side by side. Okay, wow. So these are all the swatches I got that were the closest in my collection. This is Luscious from the Sweet Peach palette. Next are two shades from the BH Cosmetics palette, Taurus and Pisces. Next, I have the shade from the Kylie Cosmetics palette. This is Natasha Denona. This is also Natasha Denona, Natasha Denona, Natasha, and then these last two are from the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. So looking at these swatches, I really wish I had daylight. We've got thunderstorms today, but I'm going to try and get a picture in natural light so we can see it in studio lighting and natural lighting. But right here in studio lighting, it does look like it's a tie between the Kylie Cosmetics palette and the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette for pretty spot-on dupes of Luscious. All right, we did it. We got a break in the clouds. So this is in natural daylight, all the swatches. And I still think like the top three swatches are the closest. You can just see now the Urban Decay swatches, just like you can see how different the undertone is. But dang, those first three swatches after Luscious look really close. Also, to give you another bird's eye view here in the studio, these are all of the same swatches filmed on my iPhone. And there we have it. That's all I have for this video. I am shocked that I was able to find this many close shades in my collection, and that's without buying anything. I'm on a no-buy right now, and I honestly thought I would have to go out and buy a dupe for the shade, but I have 3 really close dupes right here in my collection. So thank you again, Brittany M, for suggesting this video. I had a ton of fun doing this. Let me know down below, guys, what swatch do you think is the closest dupe? Thank you guys for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye!